panelists, if you would actually text the question there, I'll get it and I'll ask them as well. But what I would like for each one of you all to do, just to make sure that we stay in a timely manner here, is if you all introduce yourselves for 1 minute, and then once you introduce yourselves, I'm going to come back because I have specific questions for each one of you. All right? So Rodney, you want to start off with your first minute and then pass the mic?
All right, I am Rodney Kellum of Speak Life Inspirational Speaking. My main focus in inspirational speaking is helping people go from their motivation to their inspiration. And my heart is to work with men and fathers, so I'm so grateful and thankful to be a part of this along with GCO and Healthy Families Initiative. So it's sort of a dream come true to be here today. I'm a husband, a father, and a whole bunch of other stuff at the same time, but my main purpose on earth is to speak life into people.
Thank you, Rodney. Stan.
Good morning, gentlemen. My name is Coach Stan Maddox. I'm the master trainer and owner of Meltdown Fitness of Atlanta. I'm also a certified health coach under Dr. Sears Wellness Institute. I'm an author of the book, Make Me Healthy, Make Me Happy. And I'm also co-founder of Rehab and Beyond, which is a system that is designed to facilitate needs for disabled people or the population. Thank you for meeting, guys.
Thank you. Scott.
I'm Scott McCreary, former pastor of the Faith Church of Atlanta. I was here for 8 years here in Atlanta, pastor of the Faith Church, and then I was actually started ministry in Cleveland, Ohio.
I'm sorry. Go Warriors. Okay.
Ecclesia Fellowship Church in Cleveland, Ohio. Father of 6, 3 grandchildren, married 25 years, retired just past March of last year from ministry of 23 years, and still do grassroots ministry. Me and my wife, we do mentoring and business, and also we have a relationship ministry that we do to help married couples strengthen their marriages. So happy just because they're retired from pastor, still doing the work though.
Awesome. Thank you. Brantley.
My name is Brantley Simmons. I'm 28. I've been married for 4 years. I've been a father for 4 years, so I'm new on this journey. I'm new on this bond. I'm a teacher. I'm an educator. I'm very passionate about education, my community, as well as, first and foremost, I can't believe I forgot this one. First and foremost, I'm passionate about God. And I'm glad that we still have space, especially in the society that we live in today, where we can still come together and talk about God, and we can talk about things that are relevantly going on in our life. That is my beautiful wife back there. She's also a teacher. We teach the same thing. I'm just thankful to be here, and I've really been just listening to all these experiences, from Mr. Randy to even down to Mr. Kenneth Braswell, and I love it for the simple fact that despite the diversity that is in this room, we still all have the same title. So we still have all the same job, and we have to get it done. So I'm thankful to be here. I love each and every brother in here, and let's get away. Let's love our children. Let's love our wives more.
Awesome. Thank you. Pastor DeBlanc.
First, I'm going to ask you guys to pray for me. I'm a Knicks fan.
Help is on the way.
I feel for you, my brother. Shout out to Brooklyn in the house. My name is Pastor Armando Deblado. I am the senior pastor and founder of City of Hope Church, part of the Assemblies of God Fellowship. My wife and I planted this church about 5 years ago. We are passionate about restoring families, and I think that begins with the head, begins with the man. We're living in a fatherless generation, so we love to restore families and help families get back to the original design, where we see where this society that we're living in is really trying to redefine what family is. And we believe that family is healthiest when there's a mom and a dad. Statistics show that when men are present, and not just present, because presence doesn't really equal to engagement. We see that there's a higher percentage of success with their children. There's a lower percentage of depression and suicide. Suicide is a topic that we've been speaking about in the last week when some celebrities have actually
Yes.
taken their life. But what about those that don't have fame, those that are nameless, that are getting to such a low point, they're feeling so hopeless that they're taking their lives. So we are really invested in families. We love to just walk alongside them and provide some tools that will help them get to a better place spiritually, emotionally. So our vision for our church is faith, family, and community. We believe that the faith of one can impact the faith of a family, and the faith of a family can impact a community, and then a community can impact the city. So we are called to be catalysts.
Thank you. Let's give them another round of applause. Again, if you have your questions, please text them to that. I want to start with you. I want to stay with you then, because you talked about faith, family, and then the community. Here's your question. What do you believe the role of a father is in the home, community, and society?
Oh man, that is a
You have about a minute and a half though.
Well, I'm a pastor, so I'm going to speak to you biblically. There is a divine design for family where the father is the head. I was sharing at my table that, and I'll speak to my culture, the Hispanic Latin culture, there's a lot of machos, but not a lot of men. So I think there needs to be an understanding of what our role is. And a man, when he is walking in his divine design as provider, as protector, as father, we forget that we are to serve our family. And I think within our Hispanic culture, and I believe even in our African American culture, men look to be served. But I think we need to unlearn some of these cultural components and really understand what it is to be a man. And to be a man is to provide, to protect, to love, to be engaged within the family. And I think that when we understand our roles, that helps us to be effective at home, within our church and also our community. I think Brother Drew spoke about when Jesus was baptized. You see two components there. Jesus was not only empowered by the Spirit, but he was also affirmed by the Father. And I think when there's a father that is walking in his true identity, in security, he will then also leave a legacy for his children. And I'll leave it with this. The biggest compliment that I've ever had, I have two daughters, one's 18, one is 15. The biggest compliment that I've received from them is saying to my wife, they said, "Mommy, when I get married, I want to marry somebody like Daddy."
Wow.
So I
That's
think
amazing.
we have
Yeah,
to
that
be
deserves a
present.
round of applause.
We have to be present, but we also have to be engaged.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you for how you're showing up.
Thank you so much for
I
having me.
appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
Rodney, here's the question for you. When did the importance of being a husband and a father become apparent to you? Because I read your bio and you had to make a decision. So when did the importance of being a husband and a father become apparent to you?
Well, I actually have two stories for that. So when it became apparent the importance of being a husband is when my wife and I were either just married or right before we got married. And I was raised by example to always go to work, be consistent in work. And with my wife and I were on our way to a date. And my job at the time called me and said, "Hey, can you come in?" My first thought was, "Yeah, I want to go work at the overtime, of course." And she heard me on the phone, and she was noticeably getting upset. And I'm like, "What's wrong with you?" Wrong question to ask. What's bothering you? So she said, "You're just like my daddy. You always leave it." I was like, oh, what's happening? And what I realized in that moment was, as a husband, I had to be responsible to correct the errors of her father for her. That's deep. One. My second story was also related to work. When I had what I thought was my dream job as a video editor, I worked for years through college and going through all these kind of crappy jobs to get to this point. And one night, it was a Monday night in Atlanta, I just finished playing basketball at Perimeter Church, Drew, when they had an open night, Monday night. And it was like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, really cold out. My wife was somewhere, we were staying with family friends, we were going through a really tough time. And my dream job called me and said, "Hey, we need you to come in right now." It was raining, it was about 30 degrees, my son was months old. I said, "Well, I can't come in, but what you're saying is, I can do it over the phone. Long story short, they said, we need you to come in. They wanted me to literally choose between my dream job and my son. In that moment, when they asked an absurd question like, can you bring him in with your stroller? I said, that's not going to happen.
Wow.
When I said the pin of happen, I knew I'd lost my job. But I chose my son, and from that day forward, I've always chosen my children. And everything around me has been formed to be flexible for my family.
Thank you, thank you.